Hi and welcome to this nPro tutorial. In this video, I will explain how we can design an energy hub with the software nPro. Let's dive into it and have a look. So on the landing page, we can click on Create New Project. Here we can select as a project type Energy Hub. So that's always a good idea if you have already load profiles and you just want to optimize the energy supply system. I click on Create New Project. And here we can select the technologies that we want to use. So in this example, maybe we take a CHP unit, a boiler, and let's take a air source heat pump maybe, and solar thermal, and maybe also heat storage. So this can be very different for your use case. So maybe you have a heat source and it could be like waste heat from an industry side, or maybe you want to use power to heat, or you have some hydrogen systems in your configuration. You can change that as you like. So for the air source heat pump, let's go into the details of the air source heat pump. We can define the COP profiles. We can use here in this example maybe Carnot formula, but we can also select the product data, and we can define our own heat pump if we want to. So different levels of details here. What we always have to do is the economic parameters, so cost of parameters. So what are the investment costs for the different technologies, lifetime, and the maintenance costs? And then we define the electricity price, for example, and the gas price, and then click on size technologies. And then the optimization of nPro will determine a cost optimal system. And let's have a look at how that looks like. So depending on the system, it can take a few seconds more or less. If you have heat storages, it can take a few seconds more. So let's have a look. So yeah, here we see the sizing. So it's installing a CHP unit. Doesn't want the gas boiler, and it's also not installing solar thermal. But we have the air source heat pump here, and we also have a heat storage. If you want to change the sizing, you can either use the input fields here on the right, or you could go to the settings of the technology, go to heat storage, and there you can say, okay, maybe I want the heat storage of a different size, and then set the optimization interval manually. So if this sizing is good for us, I will just start the simulation, and then we get an hourly simulation with 8,760 hours and see how the system is operated, and all the most important KPIs for the system operation. The first thing that we always see is the energy flow chart, where we get first impression. How are the energy flows of the system? This here, we can also select the different seasons or different months and see how the system is operated during these times. On the bottom, we can click on create electricity balance, for example, to see, okay, how are the electricity demands here in the negative direction, or the electricity generation here in the positive direction. How is it, how does it look like over the year? And you can also have a look at the hourly profiles if you want to go into the details. You can click on summary and see what energy do we import, here natural gas and electricity. When do we feed in, have to feed in for the electricity, and some KPIs for the electricity balance. So what's the self-sufficiency rate and what's the self-consumption rate of the PV module and the CHP. And on the bottom, we have some additional statistics about CO2 emissions and primary energy. We could now download the profiles also as an Excel sheet if we want to have more details. But I will now go to the result page. There we have the economic results. So all the investments for the CHP unit, for example, as well as the maintenance costs and the energy costs for example, natural gas. And here on the summary and scenario page, I can now create a new scenario. I will click on it and then say duplicate scenario, because I would like to compare this the CHP solution now with a different setup. I click on next, and let's take out the gas boiler and the CHP unit and include the electric heater maybe. And yeah, that looks fine. I keep the economic parameters such as gas price or electricity price in this case. And let's have a look how the sizing looks. So we would expect that the electric heater would cover peak loads, and yeah, the heat pump is covering base loads. So here we have the sizing, and we indeed see that the air source heat pump has 2000 full load hours, so more or less for the medium, not really base load, but also not really peak load. We have heat storage again in this configuration as well. We have no solar thermal, and the electric heater here is really small, actually, only for the last hours of the year where we have high peak demand. And you can see this here on the right-hand side, you have 0 full load hours. This indicates that it's really used only for a few hours in the year. And since this pre-dimensioning is not resolving the complete year, but only design days, this says it's 0, but indeed it will have a few hours only. So then I click on Simulate System Operation, and then we get the hourly resolution for all the profiles, and then we will also see that the electric heater is, I don't know how much hours it will be, but few hours of the year it will be operated, and will cover the peak load. So first we get the energy flow chart here, and we can see, this only for the peak demand. In summer, it's not operated, the electric heater. And here we have the air source heat pump, which is covering all the cooling demands as well as the heat demands. Let's click on go to result page again. Then we click on scenario comparison. And then we will load the scenario number 1 that we just calculated before with the CHP unit. And then we see now, okay, what's the difference between the scenarios in costs and CO2 emissions, and how much electricity do we need for both scenarios. On the left-hand side, we don't have natural gas. In scenario 1, we have the CHP as with the natural gas, and we see all the important figures here directly next to each other. On the economic result page, we also have the comparison between both scenarios, so we can analyze which one is more profitable for our use case. All right, thank you very much. If you have questions, please comment under this video, and we will try to answer them or make some additional videos to answer them. Thank you much for your attention, and see you next time.